Hey, I'm excited to share this colourful new beading project with you. These components are super fun to make and totally addictive. Hi, I'm Chloe Menage, a beadwork designer and teacher, and Jill Wiseman's invited me along today to share another free tutorial with you. These components make great earrings, or you can wear them as a pendant. You can join them together for bracelets and necklaces. The choice is yours. Let's get beading. So these are my original colourway of the Rising Sun earrings. They are all in gradients of orange and yellow. And then today I'm going to be doing a Blurples colourway in honour of Jill. As we all know, that's her favourite colourway. So what do you need? You're going to need an 8mm or SS39 chaton. And then you're going to need Delicas in 3 different colours. You need less than a gram of each. Size 15 seed beads in 2 colours, and then these quick link rings, which are from Beading, and I'm using a 25mm ring today. You can use and get them in different sizes, but for the bead counts that I'm giving you today, and for kind of optimum fit with the chaton, I do recommend the 25mm diameter. You're going to then need some toning beading thread, and this is a really great project for playing with different colours of thread. I'm working with 1G, but you could use KO. You could of course use Fireline, but personally I think it's fun to play with the colours of thread for this project, and 1G and KO are going to give you lots of opportunity to really explore different colours and have that toning thread where you can really see the colour and play with it against the silver findings. So you're going to stretch your thread, and I recommend waxing it as well. That's going to really help with tension. As you can see, my wax is rather well used, but it does the job. And I'm just going to run that through the wax and then give it a stretch out between my hands, and then pull off any excess wax just between my fingers. That's going to make a real difference with how nice and stiff your project turns out. And it's something I do recommend taking the time to do before every project. So we're going to work with about a wingspan of thread. It's 1.5 meters. It's possible to add in thread, but it's much easier if you don't have to. But I wouldn't recommend working anything longer than that. So we're going to start with a peyote bezel. I'm going to start with my inner colour. I've gone for the dark purple here, so that mine gets lighter as it goes out. And you're going to start by picking up 20 beads for our peyote bezel here. So once you've got 20 beads, you're going to just slide those to the end, leaving a short tail thread. It's just enough really to weave in. We don't need it for anything else. And I'm going to pass through those next few beads to join that into a ring. And we're going to start our peyote bezel. Now, if you know what to do with peyote, then that's really straightforward. If you are new, don't worry, I'm going to show you what you need to do. So with peyote, you've got an initial ring of beads. We're going to pick up a bead, skip the next one in the ring, and pass into the one after. And it's as simple as that. And we're going to work around this ring, keeping a nice firm tension and creating the next row by picking up one, skipping one after, and that's going to push all those beads into position. So when you get back to the beginning, we're going to put in our last bead, and I'm going to step up. So I'm going through the last bead there, and then stepping up by passing through that first bead in the ring that we added in this round. Pull that nice and snug, and you can see how that's starting to pull into a band. What I like to do is work around an awl or a piece of doweling, and that really helps to keep the shaping for this next part. You want to try and avoid your band twisting as well if you can while you're working. So to start the next round, we're going to pick up one and go through the next sticky outy bead, and this is row 4. So the funny thing with peyote, if you've not done it before, is that when you create that ring at the very beginning, you are you're ultimately creating rows 1 and 2 both together. So then when you do that next ring, you're adding row 3, and now I'm adding row 4. And if you ever need to count, what you do is you can just either count on the diagonal or count the 2 columns and add them up. So 1, 2, 3, 4 means I'm on my row 4 right now. So you're just carrying on like this, picking up one and going into the next bead around. And I'm using that awl, although it's not exactly the right size, it's just really helpful A, to keep my tension, and B, to just stop myself getting in a bit of a twist, and it gives you something to hold on to. When you get back to the beginning, you're going to go through that first bead, and then you're going to step up by just passing through the first bead that we added in this round. And you can do that in one move if need be, and that should give you a nice little ring of beads with 2 in each column, so 4 rows in total. Now we are going to start to pull that in, and we're going to add a little round of size 15s to do that. So make sure you've stepped up. I'm working with the first colour of size 15s here. I went for a popping blue, and I'm literally just doing exactly the same thing again by picking up as 15, going through the next sticky outy Delica, and I'm just going to peyote that all the way around. You want to keep a nice firm tension. This will be the back of our bezel, so we want this to pull in quite nice and firmly. You can take it off the awl and just do it around the end of your finger if you wish. It's not going to twist now, so that's a bit easier to work with. And we're just going to go all the way around to pull that. Make sure your thread doesn't get caught, and pull that in. Once we've done this side, we're ready to pop in our chaton. So I'm just going to pass through by going diagonally through all of those beads to come out on the other side of my bezel. I'm going to put my chaton in, and I'm doing that so it's the point down and facing up. Now this bit can be a little bit fiddly depending on your own tension, so it's probably not going to pull in immediately. There's a little bit of fiddling needed, so that's what mine's looking like at the moment. And I'm again making sure I've stepped up through that outermost bead. I'm going to do exactly the same thing again, picking up a 15 and really pulling that in. And what you might need to do is just manipulate it a little bit with your fingers to get that chaton nice and squarely in. But what I like to do is hold it in place, get the 15s in, and then we can do a bit of wiggling to make it sit comfortably. So don't worry if it's not looking absolutely straight at this point. It will come together. At this point, if you did want to weave in your tail thread to keep it out of your way or to hold the tension a bit more, then you can. But if you're finding it useful, as mine, I'm using it to help me hold the piece together, and in my fingers then leave it in. But if you do find that you like the tension is pulling from that first row, you can weave it in a little bit more just to get it a little bit more secure. So once you've completed that round, pull that nice and snug, and your bezel should be sitting nice and securely. Now what I'm going to do is, you can see mine's a little bit off. I'm just going to use my fingers to just very gently but firmly manoeuvre that a bit more into position. If it slips out, don't worry. You're going to, as you manoeuvre it, give it a little tug on there to just hold that in. I am finding that my tail is pulling out, so what I'm going to do now is just quickly switch my needle over and weave that tail in a little bit more. And trim it off just to get it out of my way, but also to anchor that a little bit more. So to weave in that tail thread, I'm just going to work through that bezel. It was basically where I'd passed through that first round, it was just pulling it out a little bit. So you can use that back there and just weaving through, keeping to the thread path, and that will get rid of your tail thread and make sure that's nice and securely in the work. Once you're happy that it's secure, then we can just trim that off, and that will keep it out of the way for when we do the next part as well. If you do lose your chaton at any point, don't panic. You can just loosen up that front, pop the chaton back in the bezel, and then pull it nice and snug. And as I mentioned, you can see how mine is a bit wonky at the moment. Just use those fingers to firmly but gently fold round and manoeuvre around those edges so that your chaton is sitting tightly and squarely in. Pull it nice and snug there, and then again just do the same thing. Might take a moment or two, and then you can see it's in. So what I recommend doing now, once you've got it in, is just weaving around the outer edge again. So the 15s and the Delicas going through those at least once more, and that's going to really help hold the tension and keep that rivoli in, that chaton in place. So that's the fiddliest bit of the project, I promise, but just be firm and gentle and just kind of roll those sides round until your chaton fits in nice and securely. So once you're happy with your bezel, we can go ahead and start adding the decoration. Now you can add this at any point on the bezel. You can either add it towards the front or towards the back. Personally, I prefer coming out of row 3, and I think what that does is it gives you a nice level with the decoration where that you can see some of the bezel, and then the spokes kind of sit towards the back. Obviously it's not a completely symmetrical bezel because we've only got 4 rows and not 5. So it's up to you which you choose, but personally, after having a play with it myself, I think it looks better sat towards the back so that you can see a little bit more of the colour from the bezel. It adds a bit more dimension. So we're going to go ahead and pass through to exit from row 3. If you need a reminder on how to count, you can either count diagonally or in columns. So it's 1, 2, 3. And I'm going to come out of that bead. Now we're going to be working into every bead in that row. So do be careful not to switch rows. It's quite easy to do, especially on a small bezel like this. And what we're going to be doing now is adding this decoration coming out, and we're adding size 15s and Delicas and new colours of Delicas. What can be helpful, and I do go through this in the pattern, which as a reminder you can find at jillwisemandesigns.com. As a reminder, that's there, and then what I recommend doing is laying out your beads, and you can even label them to make it easier. So we're working with a new colour of size 15s here, and the 2 colours of Delicas that we haven't yet used. So I'm going to start by picking up the new colour of size 15, and then 2 of the second colour of Delica, and 3 of the third colour, and we're going to finish with a size 15. I'm going to push those all the way down, and now we're going to add in our ring. So I'm going to pop this in. It doesn't matter exactly how you hold it. At the moment you're just holding it in place, and you're either going to hold the thread over or under. It doesn't matter which, but what happens is we're going to be catching this ring with the thread. So if you're going under first, which is actually I think the easiest way, you're then going to go over on the way back through. So holding that with your thumb and finger, hold the beads in place. You're going to skip the 15, go through that Delica, and then go over the ring and through just the first Delica after the ring. Hold that with your thumb and finger as you pull that tight, and that will keep it from wiggling around and flinging it across the room. Pull that nice and snug those beads up, and that's what you're going to be left with. It's going to be anchored in place. It's going to be a bit wobbly at this point, and it will be for a few more spokes, but once you've done a few, they're going to really start to hold their position. So now I'm going to pick up 1 more of the second colour, 2 again of the first, sorry, this was the third colour, this is the second colour, and 1 of the seed beads. So this is what you're going to have. We're basically doing this in reverse. And now I'm going to go into the next bead in the row, passing through there. Pull that nice and snug, and it's gonna wiggle around a bit at this point. It's gonna look a bit wonky, but don't worry, it will all come together later on, I promise. Now you may find it looks a bit wonky, so I don't know if you can see with this one at the moment those beads are twisting around a little bit. Don't worry, what we can do to fix that is by passing through all of these beads again. So what you're going to do is, so if you've just finished this one, you're coming out of here, you're going to go up through these beads, come out of this one here, then go directly down through this bead, coming out of the size 15. When you come out the size 15, you're going to step across and go up into the next size 15, pass all the way up to come out of this bead here, step across and go straight down. Keep a nice firm tension, and what that's going to do is really help pull those into alignment, and that will give you a nice, consistent and firm shape. You can see really that's really nice and stiff under my fingers there, nice and firm. And then that's it, it's done. So if you want to hang them as earrings, so I've done them with beaded loops. You could also use a wire guardian that would work as well, but for me I went with a loop, and I'll just show you how I did that. So I'm coming out of one of these tip beads, the size 15s. I'm going to pick up 6 beads, again same colour, size 15, and I'm going to pass through the loop of my ear wire. I'm going to go back through that same size 15, and then I'm going to just reinforce that loop, and I'd like to do that 2 or 3 times because I want it to be nice and secure. You don't want any gaps between the seed beads for the ear wire to sneak through, and that's it. We're just going to reinforce that. Once it's reinforced, you can weave down through these beads and into the bezel, and pass through to the back, weave around a little bit more, then you can trim your thread and your earrings are ready to wear. I hope you've enjoyed making these. Do follow Jill Wiseman Designs for more great tutorials. Don't forget you can find all of the supplies over at jillwisemandesigns.com, along with a free tutorial to download today. Happy beading!